Hello, I'm here at the Cat Sit with the Evan Hunter books, and I just read another one, uh, by Evan Hunter, the author of Blackboard Jungle. They put Blackboard Jungle on the top because this is another juvenile delinquent movie. Since Evan Hunter did write Blackboard Jungle, which was made into a movie, which was like the king of juvenile delinquent movies in the 50s, at least before Rebel Without a Cause came out with The Rock Around the Clock and all that. So that was Evan Hunter's first big hit, The Blackboard Jungle, about a teacher in schools in New York City, and dealing with wild youth, Vic Morrow as juvenile delinquents, and Sidney Poitier's in that as well. But this one is called Walk Proud, and it's a short novel, as I said, at juvenile delinquents content. It's from 1979. So, and on the cover it says now now a major universal picture, and in fact, it is a major universal picture, or a universal picture, whatever, that made no impression on me at all in 1979 when it came out, but it's on YouTube, so I think I'll probably watch the movie tonight and maybe can tell you about it in this video, this same video at the end of it. So what do we have here? We have a juvenile delinquent story as the opposite of Blackboard Jungle, which is set in New York City. This one is in L.A. and it has to do with Chicanos and street gangs in L.A. And it's kind of formulaic in a romantic sort of juvenile delinquent story in that. The Chicano guy, Emilio, who was played by Robby Benson in the movie. I watched a little bit of the movie because it is on YouTube. And, he seemed fine as playing the Chicano guy, which, of course, he's not Chicano, I don't think. Probably Jewish. Anyway, it the novel itself was quite good. It was a breezy little 230 pages, whatever, and it's a story about a guy who's kind of smart and kind of wants to do good, but doing during the circumstances he lives in this. In the barrio do they call it the barrio in L.A.? Anyway, he's in Venice, California, and he's in the gang. The what do they call the Los Aztecs? I think the Aztecs, and so they're a kid gang. They're all kids. He's in high school still. Anyway, he meets a young woman named Sarah, who is in his high school, who was blonde, who was completely the opposite, who was the dentist, the daughter of the dentist, one of the dentists in town. So, so he's so he meets this beautiful young woman and is wants to go out with her and all that. So it's this love story set in this juvenile delinquent setting, and will love triumph over the love and connection with the gang? That kind of a thing is what is involved with the story here. It was a pretty good book. I enjoyed it. He's good at making characters. I think he. We are impressed with what we hear and what we come up with in our youth, the culture we are saddled with in our youth, and Evan Hunter grew up, I think, in radio a lot, so I think his work is really serves in that the dialogue is very good, and that the characters are very good. He doesn't really go into long, long descriptions about settings and so forth, and that's fine. I don't really need that stuff. I need character and I need dialogue, good dialogue, and it's always quite interesting in his books. So it turns out as you might expect in this kind of love story, but it goes to an ambivalent sort of point where these two, is it even possible really for these two to get together? I mean, with considering the unequal background that they both come from and everything. He has of course they're in the cars in L.A., so he has a 1963 Falcon, Ford Falcon, that he's all customized and made look beautiful, and he wants to buy a Buick Riviera, I think, from somebody else who it's all clean and fixed up too. But he needs some money, so does get involved with the store robbery, and that doesn't go well. They don't get the money and all that. So yeah, he's on the bad side, and there's a rumble in the book, and yeah, it's pretty good. So I'll watch the movie and get back to you later on what I thought of the movie and maybe more about the book. Okay. So I did watch the movie, and the movie is pretty good. What are the things I didn't like about the movie? I didn't like the music score, or the music they used, that much. I thought it could have been better. It wasn't appropriate to the situation that much. Robbie Benson playing a Chicano I thought he was really good. And, I like these. There's a couple of Robbie Benson movies that are pretty good. From that one, Walk Proud, which was not bad. There's another one called Ode to Billy Joe, which is really good. I like that one quite a bit. I think I should watch it again soon. Um, so, the thing about this is, I've read a lot of Evan Hunter books, and this is a short one, as I said, and the movie was pretty much a complete and total adaptation of the book. The things that were a little different, I thought, were how Sarah's father reacted to him. I don't remember if that scene was on the boat on their yacht. Um, so what the setup is the Chicano boy is dating this dentist daughter, and so he's meeting the parents. And in the novel, I'm pretty sure that the dad said, "Yeah, I don't like you dating my daughter. I'm against this," pretty much emphatically. But in the movie, he's not like that. He's a lot more liberal about the whole thing, and just says, just like in the book, "I just want you to pick her up at the door, not have her go to the corner or something." I'm not quite sure what all that signified, but yeah. So that was a little bit different. A scene that was really well handled in the movie and well cast, I thought, was in the story. His grandmother, Emilio's grandmother dies in Mexico. So he and his mother go to Mexico, and this is the first time he's ever been to Mexico. And there he meets his father, which is a surprising scene. I won't tell you what's surprising about it, but he meets his father, and that scene was very well done because the actor was really good who played his father, and it's a good scene. And so it's yeah, when since this movie was made, there's of course issues that have come to the fore about whether it's appropriate for a Jewish actor or any other actor, such as Robby Benson, to play this Chicano character. Why don't you get a Mexican to play the Chicano character, or a real Chicano, whatever? Um, I don't go along with that sort of thing in general. I mean, look, the movie business is tough. It's hard to get roles. It's all favoritism, and so on and so forth, and what agency you're with, or whatever. And acting is acting. Acting is pretending you're something other than what you are. And I think you can pretend to be whatever you want. You can pretend to be a chair if you want to, even though you're not really a chair. You can pretend to be a animal if you want to, if you're not really an animal. And it's just silly. So he was quite good in the movie. Robby Benson was a pretty good actor. I don't know what he's doing. He plays some role in Severance, which I missed seeing him. Whatever, one of the doctors. At any rate, it was a pretty good movie, and one thing about that I was going to say about it is the dedication in the book. It says this is for Larry Truman, who never lost faith in it. And on the page that describes the soon to be the major motion picture about it, it's a Truman Foster production produced by Larry Lawrence Truman. So, and written by Evan Hunter. He wrote the script for the movie. So I think it was all kind of a package, this one. I think it seems less organic than maybe some of the other Evan Hunter books, like the one I'm reading now called Sons, and the one I read just before, the one about Lizzie Borden. I think this whole project was envisioned from the start as a book movie thing about this theme, and it was all kind of packaged to begin with before it was maybe before it was even started, or Evan Hunter had the idea for the story and proposed it to his buddy Larry whatever, and it took off from there. So it's all kind of business biz. So yeah, the thing is, back to the point of pretending in a movie like that, like I was watching, and I was like, okay, here we have these Chicano gangs, and they're wearing the colors, the bandanas around their heads, so forth, red for this gang and blue for the other gang, whatever. And they're all the actors are doing the Chicano gang thing, and I thought, it's all kind of fake, but it's all completely fake, totally fake. Even the gangsters themselves are fake. They're playing a role of something that came before them, or something they've learned in the culture, or something. This is a way to be something, to be a gangster. It's a role, a character, something that is fake, and something that people just people do in order to get by, and get to find themselves in community. The In the book and the play, there's this what it is his coming of age. The character Emilio is coming of age and stepping away from the gang, basically, and he sees some things earlier that he doesn't really. There's this jumping out thing when you when you want to leave the gang. You have to go through a gauntlet and get beat up by everybody. Well, that happens to an earlier guy that Caesar, the president, head of the gang, wants to get kicked out of the gang, and so he gets like really beat up badly, and we see Emilio's character just going, looking at him, looking like, I don't know, this is not good, So what else did I want to say? I think that's pretty much that for the book and the movie. Yeah, it was. It's a as I said, the music was not great, and it's on YouTube, so you can watch it if you want to. And it's a pretty good movie, and whatever. The female lead. Let's see, what was her name? I'll look in my little internet here. Sarah Holcomb. I don't know what Sarah Holcomb is doing these days. Her last credit was 1980, so yeah, she doesn't. She only has four movie credits, and she wasn't particularly beautiful, like a really really beautiful actress or anything. Not like the one in Oh the Belly Joe, for instance. And she was. Her character was not, really all that fleshed out. She was just sort of the girl. She was serviceable, but not particularly great. And oh, he has a big Ford Fairlane or something like. I'm not sure. The Sarah says it's a 1960 Ford to her father. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know the Fords. I know the Chevys more from that period than the Fords, but in the book, he has a little Ford Falcon, and the Falcons were in the '60s. The big motor companies introduced the compact car. So there was the Mercury, and the Mercury Comet was the compact car. So for Ford, the Ford, the Falcon was the smaller car. So yeah, it would have been better if he would have had a cool little Falcon, but he had this big, enormous, '60s cruiser car that. Well, it was fine, but I would have rather seen the little Falcon. So I think that's about all I have to say about the book and the movie of Walk Proud. Other than Walk Proud, I don't know what the proud walk. I don't get proud. I don't understand proud. Like, I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to be an American. I don't know. Why am I proud? I'm just here. I'm proud to be alive today. Well, I was alive. I didn't really do. Isn't why should I have a sense of pride about something that just sort of happened unto me? So proud. Anyway, that's the name of the book, and it's to connect the consumer with Walking Tall. Maybe there was a series of movies, Walking Tall. I didn't watch those either, but so maybe they were to associate the viewer with Walking Tall. So if I like the hit Walking Tall movies, I would probably want to see Walk Proud too. So maybe that's why it's called Walk Proud. And we'll talk about Sons, and then, as soon as I'm done with it, which was going to be quite soon. All right.